On behalf of our company, J.P. Mascaro and Sons, the Childress family, and the Methacton Area School District, I'd like to welcome you to this dedication ceremony, which is a very special one indeed. In honor of the memory and military service of Bobby Childress, we'll begin our dedication ceremony with the posting of the colors by members of the Montgomery County Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 25, and the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 349.
Josh. Yeah.
Could you all please rise, those of you who aren't standing already, and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem, which will be sung by N. Cameron Chandler.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sailors, that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Go, girl.
You can be seated.
Oh, word.
All of you have the dedication brochure in front of you, and I was largely, together with Frank Sal, responsible for putting that together. And someone approached me today and let me politely know that there's a big mistake in the brochure. His name is Jim Thompson. He's a 1965 graduate of Methacton, went to school with Bobby. He said you highlighted all of Bobby's athletic attributes and skills. You completely neglected his academics. So everyone should know Bobby finished 5th in his class in 1965, and he was a very good student. I'll point that out to this baseball team over here and say keep that in mind. As the dedication brochure indicates, Bobby Childress had 5 brothers and sisters: Bruce, William, Barry, Patricia, and Cindy. I believe 4 of them are here today. And I'd like to introduce them and ask them to stand. There's Bruce Childress, William Childress, Barry Childress, and Patricia Childress Walkaby. Remain standing. And just so you don't think the Childress family is a small family, I'd like the extended family to please rise and be recognized. Thank you. You can be seated. This is a special day for not only Bobby, but also for his family, and we're extremely happy that each and every one of you could have been here. I might say it's long overdue, but at least we're here today doing it. He was a very special individual, and he deserves the recognition that he's getting and the memory that this field will forever have in this community under his name. What would a dedication ceremony be without speakers? I gave him an edict, though. They can't be long. Now, our first speaker is Pat Mascaro, the president of J.P. Mascaro and Son Company. Pat's company's the one responsible for the refurbishment and the renovation of this field, and it turned out to be a beautiful job. Many of you probably know, or maybe you don't know, the Childress and the Mascaro family have deep roots here in Trooper, Pennsylvania, and in the Methacton School District. Pat's brother Frankie played ball with Bobby Childress with this very field as a member of the Methacton High School team. Most of you probably don't know this, and he's probably going to kill me for saying this, but Pat was no slouch of a baseball player himself. He was a star pitcher and infielder on Methacton's team in 1968, 69, and 70. I can tell you, having known Pat for 30 years, that baseball is near and dear to his heart. I can also tell you that this memorial project in honor of Bobby Childress is extremely, extremely special to him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pat Mascaro.
Thank you, Bill. Today is a day to be grateful, appreciative, reflective, and commemorative. All four of those words are at the foundation of this project. We are grateful first and foremost to Robert Love Sr. He truly is the individual that sowed the first seed to make this day a reality. And we thank Mr. Love from the bottom of our hearts. We thank Dr. David Zerby and the Methacton School Board for accepting this project. We thank Chairman Art Buster and the Worcester Township Supervisors and their staff for facilitating this project. And we thank the Worcester Zoning Board for, in my personal opinion, did the right thing for the collective good of the community. We thank registered engineers Ryan Inch and John March. They were the designers and architects of this project in conjunction with my son Pat, who provided the business acumen as well as some necessary motivation and enthusiasm during different intervals of the project. We thank our management team, individuals like Tom Cook, Frank Sal, our field management team, Tim Lau, Tim Carpenter, Gino, my son Jimmy, each and every man who worked with zeal, toiling on this field to make it the best it could be. We lastly thank our God for giving our family the resources to be able to participate in such a fulfilling project. The Methacton athletic community has a new asset which should benefit both its athletes as well as the spectators, and I'm certain they are very appreciative of it. It is our hope that sportsmanship and competition thrive on this field and that our athletes take with them some life lessons that will enable them to be productive members of our society. We also hope that our our neighbors, our friends, and the community at large get to witness some good old-fashioned baseball in the spirit of fellowship, friendship, and camaraderie. The Methacton community is a vibrant community. You can feel the energy here today. The mere attendance is the best evidence of that statement. It has an enviable present day and anticipates even a brighter future. However, I learned in my life to really appreciate the present to the utmost and anticipate the future. You must have a recognition and an understanding of your past. And indeed, it is the past that brings us here today. I am an individual that's encountered many, many different projects in my day, but I must tell you, no project has given me the feeling inside that this project has given me. And upon reflection, I figured out why. Because this project is not about a baseball field. It's instead about an era, the early 1960s, and life's reality, growing up in a small, basic community, literally 5 minutes from here, called Trooper. A community where life friendships, long-standing friendships, and memories were forged, where lessons were learned that you can't find in a textbook. This was our reality, and we had the good fortune, my brothers and myself and my sister, growing up in the community of Trooper. But more importantly, the family we come here to honor today and the individual we come here to commemorate and pay tribute to, they also were raised in Trooper. Home base for Mr. and Mrs. Childress and their 6 children, Patricia, William, Robert, Bruce, Barry, and Cindy, was number 2 Hollywood Avenue. Head down Park Avenue, left on Hollywood, number 2, stucco house on the right side. Across the street from our good friends, the Reese boys. Down the road from Buster Young, the Custers, Dewans, Lavertys, Wagners, Romanos. Across the field from the Schlesmans, the Robbins boys, and the Mascaros. This district was formed in the early 1960s, the same time I'm reflecting on. This was not a district of million-dollar sprawling homes abounded by major drug companies and white-collar job opportunities. It was very, very different. The reality was very different, and that reality was ours, and the family we come here today to honor, they can affirm that. Our existence was small homes, many large families, blue-collar jobs, salt-of-the-earth parents trying to do the best they could to raise their children, teaching us the American way. The world was there for us to conquer, but they made it real clear the world didn't owe us anything. Many would suggest that our families, south of Ridge Pike, between Hillside and Trooper, south of Woodland, and everything in between, some people would suggest that we were poor, but we didn't have anything. We knew different. We had everything. We had parents that lived their lives for us children. We had unity in our homes. Sure, we squabbled as siblings do, but God forbid you should try to breach our unity from the outside. We understood precisely the meaning of some very important words. We understood the word no. We understood the meaning of the word respect. We were accustomed to being told things one time. We didn't judge each other by the dungarees we wore, and in our neighborhood there was a place for everyone, regardless of who you were or who you were not. Our era was truly devoid of things. Electronic devices were not on the scene. Amusingly, one TV in the house that worked half of the time was a luxury. In your own bedroom, that was the exception. That was not the rule. Despite these materialistic limitations, growing up in that town at that time, in that era, was priceless, and I wouldn't change it for anything in my life. It is truly what allows me to think proudly and fondly of the man that we come here today to honor and pay tribute to. Robert Morris Childress lanky in stature, amply described by many as being well put together. He was a reserved man of a few words. He preferred to do his talking through his actions, especially between the lines of a baseball diamond. He possessed all the tools he could field, hit, run, and throw. He was a fierce competitor. He played the game hard with courage and conviction. He was so proficient at his sport that the perennial champions of the 1960s reached across the United States and drafted him in the third round of the 1966 Major League Baseball draft. He was the 52nd player picked overall in the draft, but incredibly, he was one of the first 17 drafted from high school. Quite a feat for the young man from number 2, Hollywood Avenue in Trooper. But fate did not allow Bobby's baseball career to formulate. Instead, he traded in his rifle arm for an M16 when he was inducted into the United States Army in 1967. Upon serving in Vietnam in the war zone, Bobby met with an untimely death. I cannot fathom the pain and sorrow felt by Mr. and Mrs. Childress and Bobby's brothers and sisters. To lose a loved one at such a tender age with so much talent and so much future life is beyond my comprehension. This day has been a long, long, long time coming. And this community thanks from the bottom of our heart the Childress family for your patience. But make no mistake about it, that the delay in recognizing Bobby in no way diminishes who Bobby Childress was, what he meant to us then and what he means to us today. We were proud of Bobby Childress in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. We'll be proud of Bobby Childress as long as there's air in the atmosphere. And it is my hope that every athlete that steps between the lines on this field, that they will play the game hard with courage and conviction in the spirit of Robert Morris Childress, the man affectionately known in the neighborhood as the Crowd. It is my hope that the number 33 will proudly fly over this field from now until eternity. And it's my hope that Bobby's spirit permeates throughout this community. And it's also my hope that God gives goodness and well-being to this family, the Childress family, for today and generations to come. Because they represent the heart and soul of this community. They are the roots of this community. They are what's best about our life. On behalf of my brothers and my sisters, I'd like to say to the Childress family, we're really proud to have grown up with you people. You have a great family. You're a family of service, and you're a family with a competitive spirit. And I hope God blesses you, blesses the spirit of your lost loved one. And I ask God to bless everybody in this community. Thank you very much.
We're going to give you a little interlude between speakers. I'd ask that Pat Mascaro Jr. come up to the podium to make a special gift presentation to the Childress family.
If Bobby's brothers and sisters that are here could come up and join me, that'd be great. We put together a little gift here for the family and for the school as well. Just something to commemorate this day to them. Working on this project has been a lot of fun for me. It really really didn't feel like work at all. I've spent a lot of years playing and coaching on this field, and now that we've been doing this and working on it, I got to learn a little bit more about this community that we grew up with, and it really is something special to understand where we've come from, and I thank the Childress family and all the families from Lower Providence that kind of made this community what it is today. At this time, I'm going to unveil the gift to the family, and I'm going to read the inscription on it, which matches the plaque that is here and will be here forever. It reads, "This baseball field is dedicated to the memory of Robert Morris Childress, a young man who played for Methacton High School on this field with conviction, courage, and capability. He served our country with commitment, valor, honor in Vietnam, and paid the ultimate price. May his dedication to his sport and his country serve as an inspiration to our youth who can compete here in the future. He is sorely missed by his family and our community, but he will never be forgotten. A grateful community." Thank you. There's one with all of these, and I don't know whoever's missing, or we could change it. Yeah, we'll grab it. Thank you.
What did you do to my microphone? Jeez. The next speaker is Bobby Childress' brother. He's going to speak on behalf of the Childress family. His name is Bruce Childress. Welcome him, please.
I broke it, that's all right. Well, take a good look. This is as dressed up as you will ever see me. This is probably more dressed up than I've ever been, so. Pat, thank you. Pat Mascara, Sr., thank you. That was excellent. What a speech. Probably stole 60% of what I was going to say, but I'll trudge on anyway. I'd like to welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. What a fantastic turnout. I can't believe it. Faces I haven't seen in literally in decades. It's so great to see you all. Thank you for coming to this event. It's very big to us, the Childress family. Such a beautiful day. It's almost beyond description. As you heard, we grew up in Trooper, 2 Hollywood Avenue, and the thing about that area, as Pat pointed out so appropriately, there wasn't much money around, but there was a lot of kids around. There were so many kids. Hollywood Avenue had a dozen guys that I could hang out with. Glenwood, and not far away. Just really, a good stone throw away. Not, you'd have a good arm, but Belmont and Clearfield and Rogers Road. There were tons of guys that we got together with, and one of the big things we always did was play sports. That's what we did. That's when we got kicked out of the house and told not to come back until food was going to be served. We found something to do, and it was play sports. We played a lot of baseball. And we got together almost daily to play baseball. And it's a word out to you young people, and you probably have heard this over and over and over. We never had computers. We never had iPhones or iPads. The best eyes we had were right here. And that's what we used, those eyes. My brother was a very good athlete, and that's putting it mildly. He loved baseball, he played football, he wrestled. As a matter of fact, he was an outstanding wrestler. He was a good football player, I admit that. But he was an outstanding wrestler. His senior year, he was undefeated. Nobody seems to remember that, but I do. He was an excellent wrestler. It did not break. Thank you, thank you. And the one thing I remember about him a lot is that he and I, being brothers, probably the closest, is that we wrestled. I can remember clearing the living room of a coffee table, and he and I going at it, banging and smashing, and next thing you know, my mother came running and screaming at us and throwing us out of the house. And I have to say, I learned how to wrestle from the bottom very well, having known him. His undefeated record remains intact, even after wrestling me. Even by my junior year, I was bigger than him. And I still couldn't beat him. So I have a lot of respect for him, who he was, and what he did. Now, as you heard, he was an outstanding baseball player. He played varsity baseball his sophomore, junior, and senior year. He had the skills, as Pat pointed out. He had an arm like a shotgun. And he could throw a ball across a baseball field and put it, into the tennis courts. He just had great skills, good hitter, great glove, speed. I tried to race the guy. I couldn't beat him. I could not beat him. So, lots of great things to say about him. As was pointed out, he's drafted by the Dodgers in late 1965. In February of 66, he went down for the tryouts in Florida with the Dodgers. He came back with some great stories about the competition. And again, this is a word to the wise, to the young. He made it very clear that the people who get drafted to the baseball teams, these are the best people in the country. These people can run and throw and catch and hit. And he said he felt mediocre among some of these people, that they were so good. I can remember him telling me a story about batting against a veteran pitcher, a Dodger veteran pitcher. The name escapes me, big left-handed guy. He stood there and these pitches came at him at over 95 miles an hour. And he was just blown away by this. And everybody down there, all the pitchers down there, are throwing at 90, 92, 95, 97. So he made a real point of talking about, if you ever teach young people sports, practice, practice, practice. If your coach says it, your parents say it, it's because they know what they're talking about. Practice, practice, practice. Unfortunately, as was also pointed out, in the fall of 1967, he was drafted into the Army. He went to boot camp, I believe it was in Texas, since he was drafted over the wintertime. And I remember him coming back in the spring. He came home for a couple of days, well, maybe a week or so. And that's the picture of him when he came home that's on your brochures. As far as I know, that's the last picture ever taken of him. He went back to the Army. He went to Vietnam in either very late May or early June. And unfortunately, as you heard, on July 26th in 1968, he was killed in Vietnam, in action in Vietnam. He was 20 years old. That probably bothers me the most. He was just 20 years old. So this field, it's important in more ways than just remembering my brother. That's what it's about, remembering him, who he was, what he did, what he represented. But to me, it's also a dedication to all the veterans that have participated in all the wars that have ever occurred. The thousands that never came home, and the tens of thousands who did come home. Our thanks go out to you. And this field, to me, is part of that thanks. So I want to end this by by giving my thanks to a couple of people and a company. First of all, I want to thank the Methacton School District, the administration, the school board, the athletic department, anybody with Methacton that had anything to do with making this possible. Thank you. We appreciate it, believe me. Yes. And as Pat Sr. brought up, Bob Love, I've known Bob Love peripherally for years and years and years, for decades. And he has been trying to get this to happen for decades. So I know that Mr. Love is here today, and I want to thank him publicly. Mr. Love, thank you. I salute you, sir. Last and certainly not least, the corporation, the company that did this, put out literally more than $210,000 to redo this field. A brand new, the fence, the scoreboard, the dugouts, the underground drainage field, all redone, a new infield. A beautiful job, literally a stadium. I mean, semi-pro teams would be proud to play here. It's a beautiful job. Thank you very much to the Mascaro JP, Mascaro and Sons Corporation for all you've done, for the money you put out, the time you put in, the effort you put in. It's just fantastic. Please, let's give them a hand. Now, if we can get the Mascaro brothers up here, please. I know Pat is here. I know Mike is here. Please get up here. Is Lou here? If Lou's here, get up here. Is Joe here? Am I missing anybody? Okay. Just a very small gift from the Childress family to the Mascaros. And again, one last thing is thank you all for coming. We appreciate what you've done.
Thank you, Bruce. We're going to close our ceremony with a closing hymn and an honor guard tribute, final tribute to Bobby Childress. First, I'd ask Cameron Chandler to come up and sing God Bless America.
If you will, stand and join me in the singing. God bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Cameron. Can you please remain standing? The honor guard's going to pay final tribute to Bobby with a 21-gun salute and the playing of taps. I'd like to thank you all for coming to the ceremony today. A couple brief announcements. After listening to all the speeches and all the ceremonies here, I assume some of you are hungry. There's a food tent down below here with plenty of food. If we run out of food, and I've never run out of food in my life in all the events I've ever planned, if we run out of food, I'm in trouble, but you're welcome to it. Everybody here, the team, all the family members, all the spectators, it's a hospitality tent. You eat what you want to eat. Secondly, there's going to be a first pitch ceremony before the game, conducted on the field by Methacton High School representatives. The game is at 3 o'clock. The ceremony will be sometime before that, shortly before that. And for those that still enjoy baseball, and I know there's many of us among us here that do, the game starts at 3. Go Warriors. Thank you very much. Excuse me. The Honor Guard would like to present Bruce Childress with 3 of the 21 gun salute shells in honor of his brother. Again, thank you very much for coming, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Let's go.
Leslie, good. I hope you got
Yeah, I just wanted to take a picture. I got lucky.
It's weird. I'm just like, it's like, because it's really tough. I just think it's
Yeah.
boyfriend Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
So
I'm Erin, the cousin. Nice to meet you. This is my husband, Ken.
Bobby's all the Bobbies.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't expect it to be such a big thing.
I know.
Yeah, it's really nice though. Oh, did you see that over there?
Yeah, Uncle, your dad gets one. Yeah, very good. Like behind it, see there's all the wrapped ones.
Oh,
He gets to take mine.
I don't think he knows that.
Yeah, let him know for sure.
You got a jersey too.
He did, yeah, but he gets one of free.
Yeah. What time were you guys doing?
What time were you guys doing? The reception was 12:30 to 1:30. And then the ceremony was so we were pulling up.
Oh, shit.
Like a-holes, but what are you gonna do?
Okay, you're here. That's what matters.
We'll all go over and get a picture.
This guy over here has the he's wearing 44 shirt. Audacity.
That's he, actually. I think he's all in baseball at the game today.
Yeah, I think that's fun doing
It's probably his number.
Trust me.
It's still going.
This is my boyfriend Bobby. This is my Aunt Ree.
And what?
Aunt Ree.
Randy, what's up? Nice to meet you.
It's actually Adam Marie syllable.
Yeah, that's for you guys. Yeah, they did it.
I think Uncle Barry will be really happy.
Okay. You should
Is that
definitely
for
let them know.
Mascaro?
Well, I made all those.
Wait a minute. I saw everybody with shirts on. I was like, I know. Well, you know, it's hard for your uncle to pick up the telephone.
I think that goes for all of them.
I was just going to say, I think so. It's all
Is this on? We're just having a conversation.
It's actually recording
This is
everything. I
recording.
just checked.
We're just talking about it. Oh my gosh.
Hey, girlie. How are you?
Take a
So
picture
good.
with you.
You too. Yes, yes.
See what I take.
The Times Herald, it said that the reception was first, 12:30 to 1:30. The Herald, and then 1:30 was the ceremony. And we pulled up, and I'm like, "Hi, Case. How are you? Good. You must be Bobby.
Yes.
I'm her cousin Brooke. Nice to meet you. This is my husband Dennis. Someone came up to me. Jen. Oh, you know, I do not remember. I remember a lot of the names, a lot of the guys. I don't remember.
Hey, Jen, how are you?
It was nice.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry you guys got here late. That's a shame that they printed the wrong. They
Did you
printed
see
the wrong
it in the
time,
Times Herald?
Then they retracted it, but they did change it later in the day.
My dad turned around and he said, "I am so sorry, guys." He said, "I went by what the Herald said." And I said, "Well, what are you gonna do?"
They retracted it, but they did print it wrong because somebody asked me yesterday. They said, "Wait a minute, is it 12:30 or 1:30?" Because the Times Herald said 1:30, and I said, "No, it's 12:30." And then by the time we went and checked it, they had changed it. So you probably read it in the morning.
Yeah, we
all
did.
the time, and then they had changed it somewhere. So one of the mascaras must have got a hold of them and said that's not the right time.
My dad feels like shit. Feels terrible.
Well, I mean, it's not his fault.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
That stinks.
And,
No, I don't know. We already said hi. Who are you? I know. She's like, you know Carly.
I just kind of do that.
She said, you know that. No, they said that Dad gets one in there. Dad what? Gets one of the frames over there.
Yeah, each sibling.
That's awesome.
Because you like came back from it's like extra bonus footage.
Oh, I was just gonna say,
and
yeah, I figured you didn't get that.
kids crying. Who's crying? Right?
So how's your mama doing? She's good. Yeah.
I just came.
She's got her little life up in Kingston.
Yeah.
Oh, good. She has like 5,000 cats. You know. But her house is really cute. It's like all on the mountain. You know?
Oh, that's cool. I've never been to that area, so.
It's really pretty. It is.
Is it like Wilkes-Barre?
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes away from Wilkes-Barre.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you guys get up there often?
I tried to go. I haven't been in a few months. I was going to go today, and then I was like, I'll go next week for Mother's Day. I'm like,
Oh, yeah. For you some points. Right.
So, yeah, she's good. How about you guys?
Good. Can't complain. Yeah. Getting ready to move back. Yeah.
I feel like I got just that on Facebook anyway.
Yeah. I graduated this summer with my master's, so we're coming back for a new job. So, speech pathologist. Yeah, definitely want to hear kids, Down syndrome, and all that. Very excited. Very excited. Yeah, that's awesome.
You'll love it.
It's fun.
I'm a support coordinator. So for ID population, so help them out and the services they need. Everyone's doing their job.
Yeah. He works with intellectual disabilities at Melmark.
Oh yeah, I go to Melmark. I have 2 cards there.
Okay. Oh, that's funny. He's in what, 8th and 9th grade?
I'm in,
Or 7th and 8th? I didn't realize you were older kids.
Which building are you in? Like
I'm in the main building.
Okay.
I'm in the school. Yeah.
See, I go to one of the side buildings. Is where my guy is, but I'm there like every other month. Checking
that's
on him,
funny.
seeing how he's doing.
Yeah, no, I every morning I go and get my guy up at
Like how
7 o'clock.
So are you a one-on-one?
Shower.
7 to 9. Wow. All the ABA